So you guys have been asking to see my entire car collection in one place. And the time has finally not arrived because I have cars in many different countries, but I will show you at least pretty much everything we have here in Dubai. We're going car shopping. Buying cars for sure. Looking at another car. We are off to do a bit of car shopping.
We're checking a car today.
What the? No, shut up. What?
So we can take this? Alright guys, so before we get into this crazy car collection, as promised, I'm going to be giving away $1,000. If you did not watch the last vlog, I already mentioned that in every single video, we're going to take a comment or a question from the previous vlog. We're going to answer it or shout out the comment in the next vlog. And if it was your comment, just make sure you go back to old vlog. It'll be up as a pinned post. And I would have responded to your comment asking what your Instagram is. And then my team will reach out and send you over the $1,000. We have Gonzalo must make more sense. Gonzalo Carvalho. I totally butchered that, so I'm sorry. 170. Congratulations, you have won. So go back to last vlog, would have left a comment and just drop your Instagram, team will reach out. The comment is, Iman, you often talk about freedom and discipline. What was the hardest sacrifice you had to make on that journey? And if you could go back, would you still make it? I would say probably the hardest sacrifice was the strain it had on the relationship with my mom. Like, I'll be honest, like, I was very, very misunderstood and very, I wouldn't even say ostracized, because to be honest, I didn't really care to even be accepted. But when I was building my businesses and doing self-development and reading a book a week and doing all these things, like, I guess now it's more cool. But back when I was doing it, like at age 14, 15, 16, like it wasn't a cool thing. I feel like entrepreneurship is a lot more glamorized these days, and building a business and working on yourself. Like when I was doing it, like it definitely was a very strange thing to do. Like even YouTube was a very strange thing to do. So I didn't give a shit about all that stuff. All I cared about was my relationship with my mom, and in full transparency, like it was very shaky for a few years, because it was me making these promises of the man I'm gonna be and the things I'm gonna do. And I was literally not paying any attention in school. And like my mom's entire dream in her life was for me to get good education. And I guess we don't really mention it that much anymore, but for those of you guys who aren't aware, like I never finished school. I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of school with 1.5 years left. And that put a massive strain on me and my mom's relationship. I'm not saying that any of you guys should drop out of school, but even just like not giving school focus and attention, that was very painful for my mom, because that was like the only thing she ever wanted from me, was to have a good education and a bright future, which in her mind is what she thought a good education would give you. So there was many years where we were butting heads all the time, lots of shouting. I was going from a boy to a man, and you know, fortunately by the grace of God, I guess whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe in, I got to a point where by the time I was late 17, 18 for sure, I was supporting my mom financially, like fully. And I guess she couldn't really say anything at that point. But yeah, it was a big strain. And I feel like that's something a lot of people go through, is that as much as your family, of course, believes in you and they want to see you win and all that stuff, like it's not, no part of me ever thought, oh, my mom doesn't want to see me win or doesn't support me. It's just like our relationship was rocky because she felt like she was just trying to protect me, right? And she thought I was going in the wrong direction. And I guess fortunately in that instance I was right. But yeah, it's never easy when you go through it. It's weird because you're like, I'm doing this for this person, but in the same time, like this person feels like you're letting them down. So it's like in the short term, you feel like you're a horrible son, when in the long term, you're actually trying to be a great son for your mother. So it's a tough period. So with that being said, great question. Congrats on winning the $1,000. And guys, remember, we're gonna be doing this every single vlog. So just drop any sort of comment about the video. It doesn't always need to be a question or a question, whatever it may be. And we will shout you out in the next video and send you over your 1K. So enough chit chat. Let's get back to this car collection. So I'm gonna walk through all the cars, the ones I love, the ones I hate, and yes, some of them I do hate. And I wanna preface this by saying I'm a person that lives with these cars day in, day out. I'm not a car reviewer who got a car for one day and wants to get invited to next year's car reveal, so I have to say nice things. Like, I bought all these cars in cash with my own money. So I will tell you the cars that I love, the ones that I don't, the ones that I live with every single day. And the biggest factor is the smiles per miles, okay? Because it's not also about having the most expensive car, it's about which ones put a smile on your face. And I'm no car expert. I'm not gonna tell you the horsepower, the drivetrain of this thing or that thing. That's not me. I'm just a guy who loves cars and drives quite a bit to take his mind off of work and relax. And I know for some of you guys, you have these cars on your vision board, and when I speak, honestly, some of my cars I'm actually gonna speak down on. I hope that actually inspires you even more, because it should tell you that like your reality of driving cars that you love day in, day out is actually a lot closer, because as I said, it's not about the money. I can tell you my favorite car I own is actually one of my cheaper ones. But definitely for a lot of you guys, you're gonna be seeing this car collection, you're gonna be like, wow, this is aspirational, this is something to work hard towards every single day. But as mentioned, I am not a car geek, but I do have a friend who's a car geek and is probably gonna be even far more excited to show you the cars that I have here today. So I introduce to you, or anyone who is in the car world definitely knows him already, Aleem.
My guy.
Appreciate you putting this together. How's things?
You're welcome. Well, what a beautiful collection we have out here. I'm really excited to show the viewers around Iman's collection. It's certainly something very, very special.
Yeah. But up in the bush.
Well, this is some collection here. As we can see, there's a lot of greys. The specifications on some of these cars are absolutely unreal. Can we start off with the G-Wagon? I believe this is a citrine matte brown, is it?
I think you know the specs.
Yeah. So it's this is it. I mean, I searched it up earlier because I've not really seen any G-Wagons in this specification, and it really caught my eye. I think it's very Mr. Gadzhi, and it's a 2025 G-Wagon, so it's not the old one, and it's in this beautiful matte brown.
Look at the sky. I wish that I could stay up alive.
What was the inspiration behind this?
We had this exact same one the year before, and it was a gray. And I don't know, just wanted to mix it up.
I mean, this thing is dripping with spec, though.
Yeah.
It's got, how much did you spend on spec on this bad boy? Because it's got every. I've never really seen the monoblock Mercedes wheels on the G-Wagon. That's it. Because I think the bad thing about the new G-Wagon was I thought that they, instead of making it more aggressive and more chunkier, they went the other way. So by seeing these on the new one, that's the first time I've seen those wheels. One thing I must say though, that I think that you can add to this car is to have spacers. So the wheel then sits closer towards the arch. It's a bit more flush from the back. It looks a little bit more chunkier.
Yeah, a little more aggressive.
Yeah, a little bit. But no, this was actually for me in the
What
collection.
do they call it? The BBL?
Yeah, exactly, the BBL.
Yeah, the BBL.
We've also got your baby here. I believe this is one of your first cars, the Range Rover.
Yeah, it does everything, bro.
She moved out of state and shit that went left. She seeking forgiveness. She used to dance, but she went alone and start up a business.
I've always heard issues about the old Range Rovers and breaking down the set. I think we just got lucky. Honestly, I mean, there was that one time in the floods.
We're going to talk about floods and then also my situation.
Oh, what? You getting stuck in the desert?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you're an idiot.
I thought
you
were drowning in the puddles because you're 4 foot.
He went and did like a nice little date in the desert. And I specifically told him before he went, I was like, just be careful, like don't get stuck in the sand. Fucking on the phone 3 hours later, he got stuck in the sand.
But why short wheelbase? Do you not find that, do you like a lot of legroom? Do you get driven in this or do you drive it yourself?
Both. That's actually why. So the thing is, I mean, listen, with this goes forwards. So I mean, whatever, if we're going to a gym or something, sometimes we get driven in this. I mean, for me, it's more than enough space.
You've got one in London as well, no?
But actually, I got rid of that one. That one was from my mom. She drove it once in 9 months. And I was like, you know what, fuck that, I'll just sell this and get her a different car. That's actually one thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know your opinion on it. Your experience with the car is very situational on what city, and I know that sounds obvious, but like for example, Range Rovers, I hate in London. I actually find they're too big, whereas a G-Wagon, I love in London. Even though it's still big, I just know all my dimensions, so I feel fine even in tight roads. I mean, a lot of these cars here, I would never have in Europe.
Completely agree with you. Like, for example, some of the experiences that I've had with the Lamborghini Papamonte Urus in the UK is not the same experience that I have with it here in Dubai, because we think about potholes, bumps in the road and all that sort of stuff, and the stiff suspension is horrible. But here in Dubai, it's a completely different experience. So I know where you're coming from. Like, for example, the Sterrato, you wouldn't be whipping that around in Europe, right? Or
no, but you see, that's actually the opposite. You see, the Sterrato here, I feel like the roads here are too good for it. So I don't get the benefit out of the Sterrato, because I would love to have the Sterrato in Europe where it's like you're putting it through what it's for. But here, when the roads are perfectly made up, I'm like, I mean, there was that one time, we'll throw the clip in. Remember, once again, with the floods, all the streets were flooded. I was driving the Sterrato.
This is the top of the line of all Range Rovers. You've got the SE, the HSE, you've got the Autobiography, and then the daddy is the SV, which is this one.
Which I used to think was like because you know they made the SVRs. I thought it was like the race, whatever. SV just means special vehicle. So what you get for the SV, which I think is about $50,000 extra, you get this.
It's a gun holder.
No, you have cushions that I don't know where the cushions are.
Fantastic.
And that's it. You get the least comfortable bench on earth. And that's what you pay 50 grand for.
And you get a backrest for 50k. Imagine pulling up to the mountains somewhere, having a little picnic in the back of this.
Listen, I'm kidding.
You're not doing that.
It's the fucking biggest scam on earth. If you're watching this, that's what I'm saying. I think this is why people will appreciate this video, because I just keep it so real of like what's worth it, what's not.
There's a lot of people that regurgitate and they're influenced heavily by automotive journalists, and they kind of paint the picture of what you should be feeling about the car. But what I love about you, Iman, is that, and even when we did the mod board together and we were discussing cars, is that you show me a completely different perspective of cars. And sometimes I feel like you're offending me, but then it makes sense as well. Because normally when I want to learn about a car before I've got hands on it, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch a Top Gear review. I'll watch
those.
You can't trust them because you don't know who's getting paid to say what,
Yeah, also they want to keep getting out, like when new models come out, they want to get early access to it. And then also the other thing is, like, if you gave me some of these cars in London for one day, I'd have a great time. But living with it is a totally different story. And also it's very different when you get given a car to drive versus when you spend your hard-earned money.
Don't look me in my eyes, you can't remember me.
What I love about the 992 GT3 as opposed to the GT3 RS, sometimes less is a bit more. And that is the perfect example when you come to a track-focused 992. This GT3, it's not got vents on the side of it. It hasn't got a spoiler so big that, you can't see out the back and vents. And I feel that this, Iman, is the perfect balance of a gentleman's street racer. It's a beautiful spec as well.
And that's what I'm thinking. Once again, also comes down to location. Like in UK, I'll be honest, personally, I would never have a GT3, rough suspension.
Yeah.
So once again, European roads, you don't want a car like this.
But the beautiful characteristics about this car, one of my favorite things is the fact it revs so high.
It screams, bro.
It just goes screaming all the way. I feel cars in this day and age are losing the feeling of what a driver's car is meant to be. There's a lot of electronic assistance. Sometimes you want to feel a bit of vibration in the steering wheel. You want to feel that aggression. You want to feel the DNA of what this brand always set out to go and do, and that was to create racing machines for the road. And I think this is as close as you're going to get to the perfect driver's car on road.
And it's interesting, before I got into cars or buying cars, I was actually a Porsche hater. I wasn't a hater, but I was like, because these are expensive these days. Like, they're creeping up in this is like supercar territory.
Yes.
So they're expensive cars, but I can tell you honestly, there's no car on earth that I love more than a Porsche.
Very rewarding.
And it's the car that gives me the most confidence.
Do you not also feel that the respect factor that you get from driving a Porsche compared to a Lamborghini, for example, is worlds apart? You pull up in a Lamborghini, it's very new money, it's very, slap in your face, loud and brash, whereas the Porsche is a sophisticated car.
Let me put it this way. There's, I say it to Alex all the time, there's classless cars. So what I mean by that is a Range Rover is a classless car. You don't know if the person buying it can just barely afford a Range Rover or they're a multi-billionaire. It tells you nothing about the person. Same thing with a Porsche. It tells people nothing about you, which I like. I like these sort of classless cars.
I completely agree. Have you tracked this car?
I did.
I think the Porsche experience did. Me on. So that's interesting. Not many people have driven their 911s on track, and that's how Iman is a true, I'm going to call you an enthusiast now with a collection this fine. What was this car like performing on track?
You can just put this car through anything. High RPMs, like this thing wants to push to 9,000 RPMs, and the scream, and like it's a different kind of sound, and I like that sound. Like, I love that scream at high RPMs.
That touring GT type of sound,
Thought I told you time and time again, this shit won't stop. I bag it show by show, I'm trying to triple and double the pot. We'll put at least 6 foot a show or more for him on now.
Right, Iman, this is what surprises me about you, because I don't think I have anyone in my phone book other than yourself that has a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. Tell me, how did this purchase come about, sir? Because this is $350,000 of off-roading Italian madness.
I think for me, a big part of driving and owning cars is smiles per miles. And in terms of smiles per miles, this puts a lot of fucking smiles on your face. And it's, it's just so ridiculous. Like, as you said, the tires, the amount of ground clearance
like these bolts, when would you ever, so this is something you would see on a Land Rover Defender or like a Jeep Wrangler or something. And then you've got
roof rack.
Yeah, perfect for your Courchevel ski trips.
Exactly.
Why didn't you fly this one out? Next year you're going to have to fly it out for your next ski trip.
I think so. The roof scoop. One thing that's very fascinating about this is so loud. I've never heard a car, in terms of stock, I've never heard a louder stock car.
Well, who got 6 black points? Who got 6 black points for being too loud in your Sterrato in downtown? I didn't know know how loud this car was. I ended up getting fined 6 points, and a ticket came through, and it said that your car's too loud. I was like, hey man, take your car back, G. This is getting me into trouble. It is. It's a screamer. I love this. This interior is my favorite. I've never seen that kind of khaki green with the orange. I've never seen one advertised. I've never seen a color interior like this on a Lambo. Again, it's not just about buying it for the sake of it and saying, it's about buying the right one and building the collection. Just check this out. This is a complete bombastic, ballistic, off-roading piece of weapon. Just hear this. Before we shatter the glass behind, we should stop. But you get what I mean?
Well, I forgot. I'm not joking. I don't think I've driven this car in maybe 9 months.
I think I've done more kilometers than you.
Yeah. Honestly, and once again, just going back to like the point of cars, like my friends are driving my cars all the time. They're enjoying it, this, that. And this is one of those cars I give people, and they're just like, wow, same thing with me, bro. I never imagined myself buying a Lamborghini, let alone a Huracan, obviously something that's known as like a more entryway into the brand. Mm-hmm. But it's just a ridiculous car. There's just sometimes you just have cars.
How old are you now, Iman?
25.
25. Mashallah, this is some achievement at 25 to have such a dream collection. But one thing I have noticed within your collection is that you are somebody who wants to enjoy your cars, make them available and whatever. Paint protection film. Do you focus much on that as well? How to protect your assets as well? Because this is like
probably should.
$5 million worth of cars, and I'm seeing some of them, and I'm like, obviously I eat, breathe, shit cars, and I'm like, wow, I love protecting them, I love maintaining, I love them looking they're perfect. But when the cars came here, I was like, damn, this is Iman's $5 million car collection, and some of the cars haven't even got PPF on it. Probably because he doesn't even drive them. You see them very rarely, don't you? Is this the first time you've seen your collection all in one place, or?
No, most of it is usually at the house. We
they just leave them on the front driveway, do you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No. I have car collectors. They're like, "What are you doing? You driving your car here and putting miles on it and giving it to your friend, and you keep them outside in the sun." I'm like, "Yeah, but why would I keep them?" Yeah. Just for me personally, once again, for me, why would I keep them in storage? What if I want to drive it? They're like, "Yeah, but then you get." I'm like, if I don't want to drive the car, I'll just drive the fucking. I don't know.
There, listen, the cars are there to be driven, you know.
Alright, so here we have...
Oh God, tell me about this one, because I actually don't know much about this Maybach. I know, it's a V12,
This is a Night Series Maybach, fully loaded, like every single thing you could ever imagine. Long wheelbase, I think it's the chauffeur package, the blah blah blah, Night Series wheels.
Never seen wheels like that in my life.
This is, at least at the time I bought it, I don't know if they've now released, or whatever, made more units of it. By the time it was 1 of 5. One of 1 with this outside two-tone paint. It's kind of like a brownish rose gold. It's kind of hard to see in this light. And then black interior. So they made only 2 with this exterior, and then 1 had a white interior. But yeah.
Most of your videos that I see, when you do in-car videos, you normally like to do it in the back of the Maybach.
Yeah, it looks nice with the lights and everything.
I feel like the Maybach compared to the Rolls Royce, which we'll move on to shortly, but this feels like a first-class Virgin Galactic flight when you're in it. With a lot of the LED lights, the mixture of materials, such as the polished metals, the black piano wood, mixed in with the the wood with the white joint in it. What's more comfortable to be in, this or the Rolls?
Okay, so once again, this is where I'm a great person to ask for these things. This is, and by the way, I want to make it clear, love you Mercedes. If I had to pick 2 cars for the rest of my life, it would be a G-Wagon and a 911. Maybach is the most overpriced, the most overly, I don't know why people like them. Just get a Mercedes S-Class, fully loaded, with 4,000 miles, and you're gonna spend, I don't know what, like 40% the price? Mm-hmm. It's just a Mercedes.
Yes, I completely agree.
And I get it, it's a Mercedes Maybach, but like for me, what difference is there? Like you still get most...
But so then what made you buy it then?
The spec. No, the spec. Because in my humble opinion, this is the nicest...
If you jump in on this side, I'll get in on this side. I want to see what...
In my humble opinion, this is the nicest Maybach I've ever seen in my life.
And what is the price of this bad boy?
We paid 1.4 million dirhams. So
$330,000. $400,000.
$400-ish.
How many kilometers has this car done? 18,000. 18,000 kilometers in how long? How many years?
1 year.
What? Okay, so you have used this car quite a bit.
I'm not really ever in this car. So this is like the chauffeur car for people.
But I get it. So guests are getting picked up in the 1 of 5 Maybach.
Yeah, that and the Phantom.
Gadzhi lifestyle. If there's not many people that are fortunate enough to be in your position, you know, you're young, you know, you've done it all, you know, along the way there's, you know, you've got your mentors, you've got people that, you know, you've looked up to, but, you know, you can't teach that. You can't teach generosity. It's in your heart, it's within you, or it's not within you, you know. And, you know, the fact that, you know, you put those smiles on your friends' faces and, you know, you get to treat them to such experiences. This is the reason why you are where you are today. And I truly believe it's, you know, sharing the rewards that God has blessed you with. You know, it's that energy that you kind of pick up along the way, and you don't know what you could do for somebody in that space, you know.
I think sometimes people look at my life and think, oh, it does actually kind of frustrate me sometimes, because sometimes people be like, oh, but has nice things, so he's materialistic. It's like, no, maybe I have nice things because I want people around me to enjoy it and experience it. And also, like, if you've gotten to a certain point in life and you're responsible and with your investments and XYZ, like, and you can enjoy something, why not?
Would you say these cars are like your trophies? Does each car represent a milestone in your life, or is it just like whenever I wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
Give less of a fuck. They all fit into a specific reason or a specific purpose. But yeah, that's why, like, once again, you can kind of tell when a car means a lot to someone because of like how they baby it. I just don't baby any of my cars, because for me it's just, these are things that are meant to be enjoyed by other people. And also there's things in my life that to me I really value that someone else has, but to them it's so normal in their life that for them they don't appreciate it. So vice versa. Yeah, long story short, my recommendation for everyone, if you do want a car, this is, by the way, a great car for having a driver, having a chauffeur. I'll be honest, is a very big blessing in life. For me, actually, the main thing is airport pickups with friends, business associates, business meetings. Like, it's a nice thing, especially in UAE. It's very nice.
Well, Iman's going to downplay it. I personally think this is a very, very special Maybach, and to him, this is his chauffeur car for his friends and whatever. But this is many people's dream cars.
Here's what it is. I'm a no bullshit kind of guy, so I will always be honest when something is expensive and magical, and I'll be honest when something's expensive, but it's just, in my opinion, not what people think it is. So if you want an example of something that's expensive and magical, yeah, okay, here was where I'll slap my balls on the table and say, this is the big fucking daddy car. And I'll be honest, this is the car every time I get in, one of the few cars every time I get in, I'm like, okay, you know what? To me, this was making it.
Shout out to old Jews and old rules. New blacks with new stacks. I already been the king. Retroact, I'm just bringing it back like Jordan packs.
I first saw the spec of this car on your video to Oman, which Alex filmed, and those shots, they were just incredible. And then I was like, Series 2 Phantom 8, Mr. Gadzhi knows his shit. This car is daddy, bro. This is the pinnacle of luxury for me, and with this specification as well. Sit in the back of that. This one suits you, Mr. Gadzhi.
Listen, for me,
look at that.
For me, growing up, like, it was just always being chauffeured. And when it comes to being chauffeured, the Phantom is, you know, when you see a Phantom, you know someone's not driving it. So to me, it's a different level of respect.
Again, specification, you've got the black grills instead of the polished grills inside. What's your fascination with dark tones and moody tones? It's very like...
It just sets the tone, doesn't
it? It's just, now this, I think this is a timeless car. This is something that you buy and, you know, it can run you 7, 8, 9, 10 years. You know, it's a staple for any billionaire, multi-millionaire out there. This is a great tool to have for dinners, for long drives, meetings.
You know what the issue is this is the second car you ever bought, so everything after it's
this was actually the second car I ever bought in my life.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, I'll be honest, like, you know, when I say the Maybach, the Maybach was 400-ish thousand. This is about double. Once again, bought brand new, which I don't recommend for anyone. It was just the exact spec I wanted. I knew I was gonna get railed on it. Whatever, it is what it is. But this is about almost twice the price of that. But this is something that's expensive and, in my opinion, worth it.
Exactly.
It's just,
you never feel bad in buying a Rolls Royce, and that's when you go to the factory, you're going to see as well how much effort goes into building, you know, the Phantom, the amount of wiring, the materials that are used, the craftsmanship. And when you come out of there, the factory, you seem to feel to yourself, actually, Rolls Royce is value for money because of the amount of craftsmanship that goes into it. But what we've established is that the Maybach is for the friends to be driven around in, and the Phantom is for you to be driven around.
No, my friends
can have this one as well. Okay. Can't wait for our next dinner date.
Combination. All right.
Okay, now this is a very interesting one. This is a Ferrari 812 GTS. It's got a V12 engine in it, and this is the first car that was not designed by Pininfarina. Pininfarina is an external design house in Italy that designed all the Ferraris leading up to the LaFerrari. The LaFerrari was the first car that was designed by Ferrari's in-house design team, and this is also a creation from the Italian powerhouse as well. And first things first, the spec, phenomenal, V12 convertible. The only other Ferrari that matches this is a LaFerrari Aperta. This is a convertible V12. SP3 Monzo convertible, which is also a V12. The 812 Competizione convertible, the GTS, and then there's this. And I have been wanting to buy this car for quite some time, but my dad is very scared with me at the wheel of this because it's a rear wheel drive, 700 or so horsepower, absolute ballistic machine. Tell me about it. I love this.
This is, in my opinion, just a very disappointing car. This is just a very disappointing car.
What?
Now I will say also the other thing is preference where you are in the world. This is a GT car. It's meant to be smooth and do long distances and long miles through it. I guess this is what I'm saying, like a car for one person.
You didn't test drive the car before you bought it?
I've driven one before. I've driven not a GTS, a 812. A couple of my friends.
He got this.
So Iman buys...
And the other one, same day. Ask him why he got this as well.
Because it was in grey. Why did you get it?
He doesn't have a convertible.
I don't have a convertible.
You don't have a convertible? You don't have a convertible? Legit, you don't have a convertible, so you just bought a car that you were not happy with, and you just... Why?
Because it's a hard top. There's not that many hard
Yes, like you mentioned about the Targa as well.
So for example, the car next to this comes with a convertible, but then you don't get the roof scoop. So I'm very particular about specific things. Anyways, long story short, I would love to love Ferrari because I always viewed myself as a Ferrari kind of person. They just keep consistently like making terrible products.
I have a feeling as to why I feel as if you're not so happy about this car and it was a bit underwhelming. Did you feel that in the drive it was just a bit too
soft.
floaty? It's floaty,
it's very floaty, soft, which once again makes a lot of sense if you use this as a GT car.
Well, you jump in the driver's seat, just show me around the specs inside of this. This has barely done any miles.
Yeah.
Look, it's pretty much brand new. It's got the carbon pack inside, which is a big option. The Bordeaux red leather interiors. Oh my God. That in itself is just an expensive instrument. It suits you, this one though.
Yeah?
Yeah, this one suits you. So I think if I was to roll out with you and you said which car would you pick out the collection to go out in, I'm going to pick the 812. Really? Yeah, because of the sound, bro. And it's a convertible.
It doesn't sound that good.
Guys, comment below if you think that we should go put a Novitec exhaust system on it. So a good point that Iman pointed out on the 812 is that I said, you know, the car sounds phenomenal, and he's right. It takes a lot for you to get that sound out of the car. You need to hit around 4,500 RPM. So in city driving or whatever, you very rarely hear that.
It's very tough to make it sound loud because, as you said, it doesn't want to rev up to 7,000-8,000. And the thing is, if it does, now it starts to get, bro, sometimes I'm driving and I'm like, fuck, this thing's like dangerous.
Yeah, beautiful car. And I think, you know what, well done on your first convertible. You haven't done bad for a Ferrari 812.
Thank you, sir. So as much as I don't like it, I will keep it because I want to have one Ferrari and a convertible.
Yeah.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only roll like once. Life move fast when you're doing what you want. At this time, doing what I want.
All right, G, talk to me about this. Freaking hell. This is a wild car. I think I would pick a 765 in styling, I haven't driven either, over a McLaren P1. I think just the amount of fins, the aero, the mixtures of carbon or the curves, the roof scoop. This is, it's just power. Woohoo. You couldn't put a pretty lady in this.
Everything just rattles in this.
Yeah?
Like, you think this thing's gonna break at all times.
But it doesn't.
No.
Look how much carbon fiber is used. The monocoque in carbon fiber. The MSO racing seats in carbon fiber. It's carbon fiber galore. And look, I guess when you're belting it around the corners, you've got this support on the shoulders as well, so you're not going anywhere. This is such an unexpected addition to Iman's car collection. The 765 LT, from what I've heard, is an absolute track weapon. The finest form of a supercar on road and on track. Yeah, they're all very, very interesting cars.
Those are all very like tame and whatnot. This is just like, you know, if you just want to be like, okay, I have a supercar.
Yeah.
This is like okay, I have a supercar.
Late night drive, pop it out. Flame the bastard.
And also I buy supercars based off of one thing. If it doesn't have this thing, I won't buy it.
Cup holder.
Yeah. Because to be honest, most of the
Does this have a cup holder?
2 cup holders.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we always save the best till last. Mr. Gadzhi, tell me what in the Mr. Bean is going on here?
Well, picked this one up initially and then saw this at the same time, and I've never driven that one, actually.
You know what's interesting is in Dubai, you can't register a right-hand drive car. But I was told today, because
it's a vintage.
It's a vintage, it's a classic. Yeah. So you have one of the very few cars, a handful of cars in the UAE that are right-hand drive, UAE registered cars. And look at that. Look at that. The interiors are very fresh on them though.
Yeah, I got them redone. I need to rejig the height.
Let me see if we both can fit in this one. Oh my days. This is a vibe. Have you taken this out?
It just rolled down the windows there.
Oh, manual team.
Bro, I take this out all the time.
That is surprisingly soft. Look how soft that is.
Bro, we have a bad boy sound system in here as well.
Yeah.
Speakers, JBL speakers. Bro, we take this out. If I ever have a meeting on the Palm, I go in this, and then Johnson trails me in the Range Rover in case I break down. So yeah, bro. And once again, talking about smiles per miles, bro, you don't beat this.
Leather dash. The interior is really well put together as well.
Bro, I'm telling you. 6 sound system.
Feels good putting up the window manually up and down, you know?
How do I get out?
Is that the door handle?
Yeah.
Brother? Beautiful.
Bro, I spent $4,000 on that car.
Yeah.
Granted, it's in the shop every month, so I usually get to drive it once, and there's some issue, then it has to go back.
See, now what I say was with having a car collection like this, people think it's you know, it's as simple as just going to the dealership, buying a car, and that's it. The responsibilities start from that point onwards. You've got insurances to pay for, you've got maintenance to pay for, you know, storage to pay for, and there's so many other things. And we live in a very harsh environment, being in the UAE, especially at this time of the year. You know, around July, August, September, cars get absolutely destroyed, so they need to be cared for. But what people sometimes fail to understand is that yes, acquiring a car collection like this, you know, it takes some doing, and you know, you have to be very successful to be in this position. But let's not forget the insurances. To insure this fleet of cars, it must cost you quite a bit, no?
Yeah, pretty penny.
Yeah, but you got to do it.
And obviously, very big shout out as well. We're very fortunate. Johnson, who's our driver, works fucking tirelessly. Because obviously, I'm an idiot. I keep these at the house, which means dust. They're outside in the heat. Like, so he makes sure that, you know, the cars are all driven. Even when we're gone, obviously, you know, I'm only here in Dubai half the year. So when I'm out Dubai, he makes sure the cars are driven every single day.
Well, you can always hit me up as well if you need help with that.
Yeah.
My guy. But you know, another thing as well that I wanted to mention was having 10 cars clearly shows that you have a problem. You can refuse. You can say, no, I don't, I just do it for my friends or whatever, but really you have a problem. And it's a good, healthy problem to have, right? What other cars can we expect in your collection, G?
Basically, we just bought a car, but it's not for me. Long story short, at one of the businesses, basically we have one of our companies called Monetize, where we bundle a bunch of different software companies that we have, and some companies that we license. And we ran this competition, who could make the most money on WAP, and we gave away a McLaren to the person that won. So in 2 months, we're handing over the keys to a new McLaren. So I guess that's the next car we bought.
Wow. Well, that's just giving it away?
Yeah.
Somebody won a competition?
Yeah. So they placed number 1 on the leaderboard. They made the most with their digital products in 90 days.
Does the winner know who it is yet?
Yeah, because he won. Yeah.
Lucky you.
So he's gonna
playing competitions on what, eh?
Yeah. So that's that. So giving away a McLaren, which is sick. And then for me personally,
Lamborghini Revuelto.
I want to once the prices come down. That's it. No matter how much money you make, you have to still keep your feet on the ground. And you know what? Here's what it is. Like my car collection is impressive. It's not. Doesn't compare to my watch collection now. I'm coming up to 10 million spent on watches. But once again, like a watch like this is 100, I paid 140 for it. I walk out the store, it's 350 pounds, by the way. So that's the other thing, like with watches, I've bought hundreds of watches, but I've also made a couple million just from my watch collection, just from enjoying the hobby. With cars, it's not the same way.
No.
So I just view this all as sunk money, but I'm also, I'll be honest, just for me personally, where I'm at right now with my career, I am loving my work so much, and I'm loving what we've been doing with the companies and the investment side of things. So cars are not really my priority, and also the things I buy cash, obviously I buy all my cars cash. So like sometimes the idea of, for example, even a hypercar, putting $3-4 million into a hypercar, I'm like, I get that, but I'd much rather own X amount of stake in a business that is worth XYZ.
Yeah, man, first and foremost, thank you so much for showing around your car collection. Honestly, I look around quite a lot of car collections, and my favorite thing about it is that you can really see Iman's character, Iman's style, and his vibe through the specifications about his car. It's a very fine selection for someone who says, you know, oh, I don't know much about cars, which is that's how you kind of introduced me at the start. You actually know quite a bit, and you know quite a bit because at the end of the day, you're not a stupid soul, and you know, if you're going to be spending your money on something, your hard-earned money, you want to be knowing exactly what it is that you're buying. And I think that, you know, you've got the best of everything. You've got the best supercar that goes off-road. You've got the best type of road/track car. You've got the most beautiful spec, and I'm not just saying this, I personally think that that is the most beautiful spec G-Wagon I have seen till date. That is OEM, by the way. I don't like these Brabras, these Mansory type of stuff that you see. I think, you know, that's a load of bullshit. You've got the limited edition 105 Maybach, and you know, whether you like that or not, bro, that's exclusive. You've got the Phantom 8, you've got the 812 GTS, which is, you know, a lot of people's dream supercar. I think it's a modern day classic. I think this is something that should stay in the collection. You never go wrong with it. And then this is an absolute wild card. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would see a 765 in Iman Gadzhi's car collection. And if you didn't think that before, we've also got the lovely 2 Mini Coopers, which again, just to stress, we have never seen a Mini Cooper in this building, and this building has seen absolutely every car.
And also just want to give Topaz a shout out. Obviously you've been working with them for a long time.
Yes. So Topaz is a brand that comes from the United Kingdom, and best believe that, you know, I have definitely not been paid to say any of this, but it's just the peace of mind of having a company that can maintain and protect and look after your car. The company was first founded in London. They've branched out, they franchise all over the world, in India, Dubai, and all that sort of stuff. And when I moved here to Dubai and I realized that there was a Topaz here, I mean, I brought that old grandpa of a Rolls Royce with me from the UK, but you know, it's a black car with all the dust and stuff. It cannot be maintained, and obviously, you know, these are the places where you protect your assets. You can really, you know, get them looking their best possible, in their best possible form. But you know what, this is magical. I have a car rental company, and I can tell you this right now, that, you know, I've seen many cars together, but these are some special edition cars, all in the same color tones. If you was to walk in here right now, you would know that these are all owned by the same person, and that's what I love about it.